So this is all the Bible. What I have highlighted that the devil has stolen. These are Satanists. And they're now in challenge and competition to copy this and say it's not about God. It's not about God. It's about the devil and the devil's workers. So the devil is now me, which is a parasite, and I am the devil. So in other words, they've stolen my identity. They've copied my soul for some witch and wizard. And this was my prayer name: Jemaya Escapipilla Maika Maria Staza Chinchilla Just Goa Chinchilla Hoboba Chica Osara Sangawa, shortened Oajo. And all of this is backdated to 2008. So they want to repeat evil history, cancel my culture, cancel my prayers. And watch this. They want to take my prayers, which is a spiritual Israel and physical Israel, my prophecies, and say it's not mine. It belongs to the devil and it belongs to the witch. That they can change and rearrange and say that I'm not a saint, I'm a Satan. So they've swapped. So God has done some swapping too, which I have hidden and they can't see. Unless they're spying on me in the loft, they can still see. So there are lots of Bible references that I have taken now doing this video. Pigeon that came to visit me that I got rid of, or I turned it into a dinner. And so, again, I have a tiny bit of gypsy blood in me, or like a Jewish blood in me, because they have been persecuted longer than the blacks. And these are my ringtones on the phone, but I did have, but I don't have anymore. This was the man who came and John Burko and registered me in the Parliament of London. I have no access to that membership. I have no reference number. I just had messages on Facebook from him. And I want to be dismembered. I don't want to be part of the member of the Parliament because I have nothing to do with politics. And then I have got, again, the location. It says Rickmansworth, Croxley Green. My mother's trying to murder me. My daughter's upside down life. All of this has been stolen from me. The person I spoke to called Tubby, who lied to me. He was married and I liked him very much. He was my age, but he lied to me. He was married, but he didn't have sex with her for 3 years. And so all of this is very bad. Have letter from Children's Social Services. They no longer deal with my daughter. She's now 19 years old. I have sent a card to my daughter, but she never responded. So I've exposed this now on my platform to say this is a true image of me. This was my baby. They've destroyed so much from me. And yeah, so all of this stolen. About a nightmare I had. I shoo the pigeon out, obviously. Trying to put the volume up if it will let me. So here's the evidence that I spoke to my mum. What was the reason of using Facebook? But I can't have the volume.
Where did you go? Oh, somewhere with his family to his wife.
So she's boasting in her friends and her family and her boyfriends who are my age, and she's going on holidays, and well, I had none. Again, John Burko is my number one enemy. He's definitely an antichrist. So they've all overpowered me and outnumbered me, all of them. She's enjoying her apricot. Yummy. I found a picture of John Burko in a wheelchair with his tattooed wife, with a cross of a tattoo, pushing his wheelchair. It's apparently me and my daughter there. But it's an enemy to say that he gets to communicate to me secretly on Facebook Messenger, say that I'm a member of Parliament, and I have no knowledge or confirmation of that. And I think they were trying to protect me on Facebook and spy on my family to find out what type of migrant I am. This is the man who assaulted me, that they called Wally, the Disney film. He's not a Wally, he's a cockroach. Picture of me. All of this goes to show how unsafe social media is. Luby stopped talking to me. It should have been them who are the couple, not me. Two narcissists. Narcissists don't like each other, apparently. Here you go, he has a gun. He's a rabbit killer. Yeah, she's got an Indian companion who's a narcissist, who doesn't like me, who is rich, and removed my friendship of Luby. So I don't speak to Luby anymore. These are my friends and family now. So I'm being bullied by a man who is older than me 30 years. She's older than me 40 years. She's 90-something. Grandparents who are bullying me because I'm poor. Is there anything left? And so all of this is a thief. These are the gifts I've sent to my daughter. So she's now the black cat who gives you bad luck. She's the one who betrayed and destroyed my life. A beautiful box full of beautiful underwear, beautiful party dress, beautiful earrings. All this sent to my daughter. A beautiful cat, because I know that she loves cat. A beautiful sheep jumper. But all these, she's greedy for gifts, and yet she thinks all evil about me because my foster mum's telling her all the evil things about me. So it's very, very bad. So there's evidence now that I've contacted my mother and father on Facebook. So I suspect the FBI was from USA was looking at my Samsung phone. And all of my phones, it's nothing to do with them, and yet they've taken over, totally control, to attempt to put me in court, to get me to be sick. And so my rabbit is eating that rubber tree glove that had fallen by the wind. So they're not really as scared of the wind. They were scared of my voice when I was speaking to the visitor that came to see me yesterday. She wants to register me to help me move home very quickly. That I'm going to accept. I've made a decision to accept. However, it's when I decide, not when they decide. And also there's two options. There's also the council that can help me move. But I have to choose one or the other. I can't have both. I have to choose one or the other. And so that's the question I will ask the individual who is dealing with it. She also I've taken a screenshot. She reminds me of my cousin, Tina. Similar look-alike, similar personality. who works at my housing. And so I have to ask the question and record her just to see if she's lying. Can I register with just one, or do I have to register with both? But they will lie to me and then change the policy later in future to say you can only have one and not both. So I don't think I could trust registering with her to move, anything to do with... It will be quicker to move if I have a home swap, because it's the same contract. If I do register, I have to pray about it. So my little pets are similar to angels and the Holy Spirit, because they are sensitive to my voice. They know when I'm stressed. They know when I'm sick. They can sense it. They know when I'm happy, when I'm not happy, or in pain. They can hear me sometimes screeching and screaming. So they're my medical nurses. They motivate me to clean up after them. I have a snow shovel. I said I cannot use a hoover. I use a snow shovel. It clogs up my hoover. I use a different type of equipment to help me. Sometimes sit on the ground on a cushion as well to do it. And I use a sweeper, dustpan and brush with long handled for the disabled person. And they give me tender loving care, and I give them tender loving care. So pets at home are great for the disabled person. These are small mini rabbits from Netherlands. And so that's it. I'm going to now put a few videos on social media and keep them the same until probably August next year. Then I will update what's happening. Should Thrive Homes, my housing association, be trusted for a home swap? Because then they would have the control to give me what options I have, and treat me as an exile, to make me homesick, to make me miss my home where I have been here for 10 years plus. And again, this is something to do with those up top who would ultimately control my move, my home swap, which is a socialist tenancy. It's a permanent tenancy. But all of a sudden, they can be as very nice guests and then all of a sudden turn on me and become a terrorist. So I have to guard myself against these beasts, which are 666, darkness, as a type of a burglar, to change and rearrange my tenancy, which they will lie about. They will say, no, your tenancy will stay the same. I have to guard myself about that. And I have to decline the home swap because they cannot be trusted. Or I will accept the home swap in order for me to move very quickly at the center of the storm, because I'm encamped by the enemies. The enemies have surrounded me. They've purchased homes to track and trace me. This is how extreme the hostile environment is, that I have had stalkers for 20 years, that they would stalk me even to the point of purchasing a house as homeowners to terrorize me while I'm not a homeowner. This is how bad it is in England against migrants living in England. The most decent migrants destroying my reputation through mental health services, destroying my ability to purchase a home because of mental health services, totally conquered everything in my life, all my human and civil rights, destroyed any mental health services, any love and goodness I had for my daughter. They've broken the law. I am punished for their sins and their crimes, captured, destroyed, and turned into an exile, despair. As a type of a refugee, I should now leave England. I'm not leaving England. If I've done that, the enemy has won. And that's how they're breaking my breath, breaking my back and all the bees, my bones, my body, my baby, everything. to say that God will not fulfill God's promises in my life. So they're also saying they've demonized Daniel by making a film of an evil demonic baby called Daniel. And so Daniel and Daniel's friends are the wise humans who have been protected by God, and because they have rejected to bow down to these three and the fourth one, which was Daniel, to their statue and their idols. So in equivalent for today, they would have said, no, we don't want a mobile phone. We will have a walkie-talkie. So this is symbolic to King Nebuchadnezzar and all of the 666, 777, fake heaven, 888, evil eternity, and 999. So they've stolen the Hanukkah lamp. These witches and wizards, they've stolen anything holy and swapped it and saying now it is the saints who are the same as King Nebuchadnezzar and the statues and the idols. And it is the devil who is the Daniel and his three friends. So they've swapped it. And it's a nightmare. It's terrifying that they have swapped. So Daniel was stuck in the lion's den. So they're saying now this is Satan here. And it isn't. But this is how they've swapped. So the bad guy is the good guy and the good guy is the bad guy. And no one is good, only God is good. And the fact is, no one can boast and no one can call themselves good. Only God makes saints good. So this is exactly what they've done, these globalist individuals who are mocking and insulting God's people and destroying everything to the point of death threats. So I need to show a picture of me. And then I'm going to close this video. Disabled person accused of possibly doing benefit fraud in future, accused of child abuse, animal abuse, damaging this property, even though I've lived here for 10 years plus. Social housing gives you housing. However, if you're a quarter gypsy or a quarter Jew, they will target you to destabilize your home and your tenancy, throw you on the street, make you homeless. Or it's the same, it's equivalent to homelessness when they demonize God's people and first of all sort of seem to treat you with respect and then turn on you, treat you with disrespect. So I have to pray about this, but then it's too late. The damage is already done. When they change their policymakers and they change their laws, it's already too late then. They say one thing and then they mean another. So it's an attack. If I say, yes, I will accept your home swap, they can then change the law to suit themselves and say you can't have both services for the council to do your home bidding, to register for your moving, compared to housing to register moving with a connection to your existing contract. So we know, publicise that it is faster to move with my existing contract for my long-term housing, where I've lived here for 10 years plus, and just swap and still remain with Thrive Homes, which will be a lot quicker compared to, but this is what they ultimately want. So they can ultimately lie to me and say, oh, well, your tenancy won't be affected and your tenancy will remain the same and you will move home quicker, because they want to move me out of here so that they can... I've already had letters of people who want to purchase this accommodation. And it says, to the home occupier, door 69, you are now like a homeowner, but I'm not a homeowner, to want to purchase this accommodation. So they've overtaken my home, my postcode, my location, and this is all an invisible enemy, which is a total nightmare. They want to kick me out. I'm unwelcomed, even though I've lived here for 10 years plus, so that they can purchase this accommodation. That's why they want to, it's for their benefit for me to move out quickly, to be rushed out. Or should I remain here longer so that the enemy doesn't have the first word and the last word? Either way, I'm being attacked.